Hi students, I enter into the next part. The next part is I enter a number from the keyboard and find out the reverse of that number. How it is possible? Logic is some extent similar to word add up digit. So how it is possible that I can write the code? Now check reverse a number, palindrome, Armstrong number. Logic are some extent equivalent. Now you check how can I write the code. That is reverse dot Java. Check here. So what I can do, I enter a number from the keyboard and find out the reverse of that number. I just write here import java dot util dot that is scanner. Right? That is public class. That is a class name. Reverse. Here you see, just write reverse. What is my next job? Public static void main. Let's I pass here string args. I just enter into the main. What I can do here, scanner s is equal to new scanner. I pass here system dot in. I want to take the input from the keyboard. That is a system dot out dot println. I just write here. That is enter a number. It just invites to enter number from the keyboard. Enter num is equal to s start next int. Check here. I just enter a number from the keyboard. Now, after I enter the number from the keyboard, I want that number, reverse number, I can find out. Then I declare some variable I is equal to, that is a num. Then what is my next job? J is equal to 0. Then REP is equal to, REP is equal to 0. That's the value I pass. What's the condition I pass here? While I greater than 0. You try to understand, I can find out up to that extent, I value is more than 0, my loop will continue. If I enter 123, same logic I pass. 123 greater than 0 because I hold a num value. Num value is what? 123. The same num value I assign to I. Then what I can do here, j is equal to, that is I modulo n. You tell me. Now, if it is 123, I value is 123, 123 modulo 10 is 3, j value is 3. Then what is my next job? Reverse is equal to, REB is equal to, reverse into 10. Here you see, REB into 10. 0 into 10 is what? Same 0. 0 plus. I just assign the value of j. J value is what? J value is 3. Now that is REB is equal to 3. What I can do? I by equal 10. I is equal to I by 10. Can you please tell what is the value of I is 123 by 10 is what? That is 12. Then 12 greater than 0, my condition is satisfied. J is equal to 12 modulo 10. Now it is 2. REB is equal to REB into, till the time, REB value is 3. 3 into 10, that is 30. 30 plus 2, 32. I is equal to I by 10. That is 12 by 10 is 1. Now 1 greater than 0, my condition satisfied. J is equal to I modulo 10. That is 1 modulo 10 is 1. J value is 1. REB is equal to REB into 10. 32 into 10 is what? 320 plus 1, 321. I is equal to I by 10. What is the value of I is? I value is what? 1. 1 by 10 is 0. Now 0 greater than 0. My condition is not satisfied. What is the value of REB is 321, 321. So what I can pass here, system dot out dot println. Here you see the reverse of, here you just write, that is reverse of num. What is the value of num is 123. The reverse of 123 is, anyway, I just pass here. That is REP. Check here. End of the block. End of the. Very simple. The logic you can think This much amount of logic you have to calculate, and that is what it is, just making some practice, then that makes you strong in the programming part. It is the starting area, but I know that it is very much required for every student, sir. If the students are not comfortable in these areas, they are not capable to write the bigger applications. So this algorithm or this application you are capable to write. Now see, I just show you, that is check Java C. I just compiled the code. Anyway, I did the mistake. That is the illegal start expression. That is the I by equal. Here you see, that is anyway, compile the code. Sorry, spelling mistake here. That is the class name is different. I just make here, that is, sorry, that is us. That is here you check, compile the code. Here you just, that is, write the code. Some mistakes are there. I just use it 6781. Check here. Is it 1876? Yes. That is the way you can write the logic. Some mistakes are there because I use some space here. That is not calculated. Illegal start expression. Next one is class name is different. That is what it make a mistake, because Java specify that when you declare the class to the public as a specifier, at that time the file name and the class name must be same. But as I declare it public, here the file name is something different, class name is different, so it generates error. Now I rectify that, error is rectified, it is the result you can find out.